Friday at the Nurburgring has been a complete washout. The low fog and heavy rain meant that the medical helicopter couldn't actually fly, which meant that it led to both free practice 1 and free practice 2 being cancelled. But we are still here to bring you the Friday practice review, even though nothing happened. Let's take a look at the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championship coming into this weekend. After 7 years away from the Grand Prix calendar, Formula 1 returns to one of the most thrilling and challenging tracks. Welcome to the Nurburgring in Germany for the Eiffel Grand Prix. This weekend, it is the 11th round of the season. Following this, in 2 weeks' time, we have the Portuguese Grand Prix at the Algarve, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. A week later, a two-day event, the 31st to the 1st of November. Turkey, 2 weeks' time, on the 13th and the 15th of November, now without fans in attendance. 2 races in Bahrain, the second called the Shakir race, that's in early December, and the season rounds out on the 13th of December in Abu Dhabi. Lewis Hamilton leads the championship, 205 points to Valtteri Bottas on 161. Max Verstappen is on 128, but the midfield battle is where it's at. Norris on 65, Albon 64, Ricciardo 63, Leclerc and Stroll on 57, Perez on 56, and Gasly on 45. On the second page, it's Carlos Sainz on 41 points. Esteban Ocon is 36. As Megan said, quite shocking for Sebastian Vettel to just have 17 points on the board. Then Kvyat 14th on 14 points. Hülkenberg still strong in 15th place on those 6 points. 2 apiece for Alfa Romeo's Raikkonen and Giovinazzi. 1 for Magnussen, and no points on the board for Latifi, Russell or Grosjean. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads the way, 366 points, more double clear to Red Bull's 192. McLaren, Racing Point, Renault are in a midfield battle on themselves, 106, 104 and 99. Ferrari battling AlphaTauri, 74 and 59. Alfa Romeo in a personal battle with Haas over 8th and 9th. And Williams still yet to get off the marks with no points. Washout or not, we're here for a Friday practice review. But first, before we get into this weekend, let's take a look around the Nurburgring. We haven't raced on this track since 2013, and we have to wait another day. Here's the track on Assetto Corsa. Let's take a look around the Nurburgring in Germany, a clockwise circuit, 5.148 kilometers long. It is a hard and abrasive circuit. Coming into the Rtl Curve, the last corner on the track, good to get an important exit as you fly mid-part through the track, down the start-finish straight, open up the DRS and hurtle across this control line before the start line of the pit lane exit. Heavy braking zone for turn 1, all the way down from 8th gear to 1st gear, a tight right-hander as you come into the Castrol section, used to be of course the Mercedes arena. Turns 2 and 3 want to spit you out wide. Understeer, a massive problem at this part of the track, but it sort of all tightens up nicely as you come into turn 4 and rejoin the original revamped circuit. You can see how tight the track gets and narrow as you head, hopefully flat out, all the way down into turn 5 and 6. Banked part of the track, good traction as you come flying through the Ford curve. Downhill now, maximum of 8th gear, flat out into the braking zone for turn 7 of the Dunlop curve. Michael Schumacher and Juan Pablo Montoya had a moment here, and that's why there's an extra runoff in the part of the track where Schumacher went off. Uphill now towards turn 8 and 9 when Hamilton crashed in 2007 in qualifying. Luckily he was okay to take part in that crazy race. Flying downhill now to the Rtl Curve at turn 10. Back part of the track once again, filters downhill immediately into the bit curve before opening up for the second DRS detection point on this lap, past the old Nordschleife on the left and fly uphill towards the Michael Schumacher S's chicane, which he helped design after passing Alesi for the victory in 1995. Hard on the brake, 1st gear corner, important to get a good exit, rising up once again to the Coca-Cola curve. The car immediately wants to spit you out wide, control it, back on now to the actual track and across the start line. The Nürburgring is a demanding circuit, not just the Nordschleife, but the track that was recreated in 1984 always provides interesting and great races. So the big news was that free practice 1 and 2 was cancelled. And we can take a look now at the Nurburgring. This was a live shot just a few hours ago at the end of the second practice session. It remained the same pretty much throughout the day, unfortunately, and it led to the cancellation of both free practice 1 and free practice 2. And it was a slightly bit more dramatic session as well for us in the commentary box, which is where we are in our brand new camera position as well for the remainder of the season. Ian Birch joined me in the commentary box as well. Megan Birch presented, and we had a lot of fun talking for 3 hours on absolutely nothing at all happening out on the track. But let's just explain to you the reason why the medical helicopter couldn't fly. The nearest hospital, which has got the right sort of equipment that Formula 1 needs, especially if it's a head injury, is 20 minutes away via the air ambulance. That is the helicopter. Now, it's the nearest one via the ambulance, if they had to go by road, is 40 minutes. So that led to a pretty long delay because the fog was too low. It was okay around the circuit, but as we got away from the circuit with the kilometres going further, it provided that it was a little bit more tricky to get for the helicopter to get to its destination, the hospital, within that crucial 20-minute period for a brain injury. So Michael Masi, the race director, and the rest of the FIA had to say, well, we can't do it. The FIA safety means that we just can't risk it. We'll be fined, imprisoned as well for negligence, basically. So the session had to be delayed. Both FP1 and 2 were delayed 3 times. First, before the session started. The second one at half past the hour on both of them. And the third and final time came at the top of the hour with only half an hour to go on the clock of the 2 sessions. It was announced that the pit lane would not open and the sessions were cancelled. That meant it stopped Mick Schumacher and Callum Ilott from getting their first ever session in Formula 1 for the 2 practice sessions in the Alfa Romeo and the Haas car. They will get it again, most likely, at the Portuguese Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. The only action we saw, though, today came, surprisingly, from Williams, who put Nicholas Latifi and George Russell to work all throughout the afternoon. Ducks on the track as well, with duck racing and some fancy pit boards as well, as Williams entertained the fans that had made their way into the track, 2,500 around the venue here, a maximum of 10,000 available throughout the weekend. So the medical helicopter for Saturday now looks like we are going to see a different type of situation, to which the medical helicopter will fly 2 kilometres away from the track and crucially complete the rest of the journey on road via a road ambulance. Now, that is all done within the crucial 20-minute period. So it looks like we have a solution to go racing, which is brilliant news. Tomorrow, it looks to be a lot sunnier, but still very cold and damp. So we're going to have to play it by ear as what happens with practice 3, and most importantly, what happens in qualifying. Sunday seems to be a repeat of today, but with the new implements in place for the medical helicopter, we should be good to go for race day on Sunday. So we are back tomorrow for free practice 3. That is at 10:50 UK time. Megan presents and then joins me in the commentary box for whatever happens. It should be very exciting, though, if we do get cars on the track. The Saturday practice review will be at a slightly earlier time of 1:15, because at 1:45 UK time, we will be live here on YouTube for the qualifying build-up to the 2020 Eiffel Grand Prix. Thanks for your company today, though. We're sorry we couldn't bring you any practice action, but thank you for joining us throughout the 2 practice sessions. See you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.